What do we do now? Thanos has snapped his fingers, at least here in Quebec anyways. And like that, we are now all unvaccinated. Find out what my thoughts are and what you can do to start fighting back. Looking to shed a few of those COVID-19 pounds, looking to get a little bit stronger and improve mental clarity, make sure that you're super dialed in at work and at home. Over the summer, the team here at Dave Moore PT has been building these programs out. So if you head to davemoore.net/training programs, you'll find one of my favorite programs called The Beast. This program is designed for the seasoned veteran, the dad, the grinder, making things happen at home, in their community, at work. This is an 8-week program that I built based off of my experience. It really focuses on ensuring that your metabolic health and your testosterone levels are optimized. So if that sounds like a good program, a good fit for you, head to davemoore.net/training programs. Find The Beast. I guarantee that you are going to lose 10 pounds. And additionally, you're going to start dialing in your life and feeling a whole hell of a lot better by the end of that 8 weeks. So if that sounds like a good deal for you, head to davemoore.net/training programs and get on The Beast today. Stop making old man sounds. Yeah, that's right. You know what I'm talking about. Those aches, those pains that cause you to groan every time you get out of your chair or into your car. That's not normal. Start getting after it by getting your copy of the Nimble Warrior book. This is a book that I created in order to start fixing things like back pain, knee pain, shin splints, you name it. In order to get your hands on a copy, you have to head to thenimblewarriorbook.com, and you can pick this book up for just the cost of shipping and handling. Additionally, for every book that you purchase, I'll be donating $1 to the Warrior Adventures Canada charity here in Canada that helps veterans get back on their feet by going out into the wilderness and doing some really interesting excursions. So head to thenimblewarriorbook.com, get your copy today, and start getting nimble immediately.
Welcome to the Hard to Kill podcast, the go-to podcast for military, LEO, and EMS professionals, sharing ideas and experiences from around the world to make you hard to kill. Here's your host, Dave Morrow.
All right, this is going to be a short episode, but it's going to be an important one, I think. It's an episode that needs to get out there. This is part of, I guess, my mental health protocol now. Because without conversation, you can go mad. Today is a day of days. It's Friday, January 7th in the sunny province, if you can still call it that, of Quebec. And the bombshell that dropped today, as I looked up my phone, was the province has declared by fiat that 2 vaccinations is no longer sufficient to be considered vaccinated. Yeah. So let me reiterate that. 2 vaccinations, which we were told from the very start would be what is required, your sacrifice to protect grandma, to protect everybody else so that we get back to normal, is now no longer sufficient. This is every conspiracy theorist's wet dream. So now we have to go get a booster. All right. I was optimistic up until yesterday-ish. Part of my reasoning was the fact that this new variant, whatever you want to call it, Omicron, Omicron, whatever, from a policy point of view, from a political point of view, this is the victory lap they were waiting for. Man, they could have easily said, look, all the vaccinations, all the QR codes, all the lockdowns has finally led to the moment where, look, you're getting sick, but man, it's just like a cold. The ICUs aren't filling up. Death rates are at an all-time low. This is objective data that has not only come out of South Africa, that's come out of Europe, it's come out of the UK, the States. And the shock to see, nope, we're going to have to get a vaccine with a vaccine that clearly was not made for this new mutation. Basically like saying like, we're going to grab old flu vaccines from 2014 and jab them in urine for this flu season because we don't know what we're doing. If this isn't insanity, I don't know what is. You have the best scientists in the world saying this is a godsend. This is the natural course of a deadly strain of coronavirus to mutate itself into obsolescence. It's actually, if you were looking at it from a virus point of view, this is the best thing. This is exactly what viruses want to do. I mean, they don't have consciousness, but they evolve to spread. If they kill you too fast, it doesn't spread. This is insanely contagious, what we have now. However, because it's insanely contagious, it doesn't kill you. Wow, what a godsend. However, this is a great tool, right? For those political masters that now see an opportunity. My issue here is trust. It always has been trust. When you deny your people the ability to think critically, when you deny their basic human rights to make a choice about what goes into their bodies, when you coerce, when you force people to do things they don't want to do, you've eroded trust. Anybody knows that it's been an abusive relationship. If trust fades, you no longer have a relationship. Or you might, but it takes a hell of a hard work to get that trust back. Our entire society, our entire civilization is based on trust. From top to bottom, contracts to driving to everything is based on me trusting that on average, the person in front of me and behind me is not going to act like an idiot. They're going to respect things and we're going to get on with it. But when you break that trust at one of the highest levels possible, the repercussions, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know that this is a time where there's a great reckoning. You have, and I'm going to point you in the direction of some of the smartest people that I've ever heard speak in my life, because we live in the era of the internet. We can listen to these great minds talk. That, for all it's worth, I'm not here to really. Who am I, right? I just act as a conduit. I go over research. I'm not conducting research. That's not my job. I don't do that. But you know who is? Dr. Peter Attia, Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Robert Malone, Dr. Rhonda Patrick. These are the individuals that are just rock stars that have a lot of charisma, that are saying that things are going wrong. This is not science. And when you have very level-headed, very well-respected, credentialed out the ass doctors, scientists that are saying, pump the brakes, we're headed off a cliff. Why aren't we listening? Is it because we're too focused on our own presuppositions? We've identified with being vaxxed or non-vaxxed, which is absolutely idiotic in my opinion. To now come face to face with the fact that we won't be allowed to go to the store if we don't have a QR code. This is what all of this sacrifice has led us to? Seriously? I don't like being made a fool. I can tell you that much. I don't think you do either. Something has to be done at this point. There needs to be a reckoning. Our politicians need to be held accountable. The silent majority needs to stand up and say enough's enough. Our businesses have been closed. Our kids are a disaster right now. Our mental health is cratering. Our communities are eviscerated and destroyed. It's like we went to war without fighting a physical enemy. But you know what's good about a war? You bond together. You get closer. You have no choice. You have to fight. Well, I think this is our point where we got to fight. Not with bullets and bombs, but with our feet, with our mouths, with our hearts. But we can't go on like this. I put this all together, and I do this because I'm concerned about health. I think the only way forward to solve these massive problems that our entire planet is facing is through individually taking responsibility, and that includes your health. If you are sick physically, you cannot be expected to take on bigger challenges. You cannot be expected to think critically. You cannot be expected to take on massive issues if you can't sort your own self out. And that's why I do what I do, to give you the tools in order to do so. And it's apparent we are sick, not only physically, but as a society, we are sick. We've lost connection with everything that makes us human. And these last 2 years have just made it infinitely worse. I'm praying for every one of you out there right now. You know, whether this bothers you or not, this is going to have repercussions on you, your family, everybody down the road. Whether you live in Quebec or not, you see the tide coming. It's happening all over. What are we going to do about it? That's what it comes down to. Baseline, the most revolutionary thing you can do right now, get aggressively healthy. Get your weight down. Get your strength up. Start thinking clearly. Turn off the news, and let's get after it. That's it for me. Peace.